Hello everyone. Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Nishan Bhardwaj, your customer success advisor here at Arcans. Today we will talk about an important question. Are you 3D design not meeting your expectations? If you find yourself struggling with slow workflows, poor visuals, or tools that don't work well together, you are in the right place. This webinar will show you how the Adobe Substance 3D collection can help you improve your creative work and overcome these challenges. We will cover some key points, including in all-in-one 3D suites, easy photorealistic rendering, smooth workflow, integration, and AI-powered teamwork. Now, I am excited to introduce Mr. Jignesh, who will take us through this journey with his valuable knowledge. Over to you, Jignesh.
Thank you for the introduction, Nishant, and good afternoon, all of you. I'm deeply, from my bottom of my heart, I'm actually welcoming all of you who are taking some time for this webinar. Today's webinar is going to be a bit exciting and at the same time a bit of a knowledge of in-depth knowledge, a bit of a in-depth knowledge about one particular software or one particular bunch of softwares, you can say that that Adobe has come out with. They are addressing to beautification, and at the same time they are also addressing to the core need of the industry to make their work uh, look better. That's what they are trying to do. Now, as people who might have attended my webinars previously, I have talked a lot about 3D in 3D and 3D related softwares. This is one of those softwares that actually kind of fulfill my needs to make sure that my 3D model comes up with a very good texture, a very good visual. Okay, and at the same time, they also provide me a bunch of other tools that I can manipulate with it and make it more interesting. That's what I liked about this particular part of Adobe. Now, before I begin with the software, just a small introduction about ourselves. Let me just reintroduce myself. My name is Jignesh Mistry. I'm the technical manager at Arcans, taking care of M&E specifically, but at the same time, I do dive a deep research in various other softwares. So people who are we do interact with our clients all across India, catering to their needs, catering to their requirements, and based on that, we give them a correct solution. Now, here in Arcans, we are actually a global partner, a global a partner for Autodesk for one, and at the same time Adobe. We have a global presence right from India, where we are sitting right now, from Australia to European countries and across the United States. We are parallelly conversed as the largest Autodesk softwares and Adobe software providers. This is our basic journey, that how we actually became a part of Arcans. Earlier, we were a part of, as many of the people must be knowing it, we were Capricorn, and then we were submerged into one single umbrella as Arcans. We do provide a lot of solutions on AEC front, that is architectural, manufacturing, and media and entertainment. Our goal is to provide the correct solution to client who are struggling in many ways to fulfill their projects. We try to build up that bridge so that you won't have to struggle anymore, and based on our knowledge and research, you can take a complete advantage of it and utilize it into your production pipeline. Now, today's topic is more of this part, Adobe Substance 3D software suite. Now, these are the softwares that are included within this particular suite. Substance Painter, which is the flagship of it. Then we have a Substance 3D Stager. All right, I'll be giving a briefing about this one. Substance 3D Assets, which is a part and parcel of all these softwares. Then we have Substance Modular, Substance Sampler, and Substance Designer. Now, these others softwares that I just mentioned, we will be also taking webinars on these softwares, but that would be coming up later. Today, I'll be actually majorly focusing on Substance 3D Painter and giving you a briefing about what exactly Substance Stager is all about. If the time permits and if we have a more of demand that I have to deep dive more into Stager, I'll be taking a separate session of Stager as well. So it's not the end. We will be doing a lot of webinars and workshops also, for that matter, based on the industry needs. So what I feel here is like Substance Painter is very vast, very vast. And if you ask me whether I can cater everything into 1 hour, I'll try my level best, because to be very frank, it is so vast that we have actually divided the entire sessions different in different industry wise. I'm like, we are trying to cater all the industry that Substance 3D Painter caters to currently on based on their case study. And at the same time, we will be also try to indulge industry professionals so that they can give their valuable inputs, how they utilized these softwares into their projects. Okay, so before move into Substance Painter, this is a small
When
introduction.
one model is the focus of your render, when you want to show it close up, you need that model to look great. It needs to have materials and details that tell a story, with every visible area carefully crafted. And well, that's when you need Substance 3D Painter. Painter gives you a set of advanced tools and techniques to craft and apply materials and details. You can paint by hand, making sure every fine point is to your liking, or you can work fast and efficiently by using automatic generators. And you can also combine methods to get the best of both worlds. You always work on a single specific 3D model here. Textures you make are created specifically for this model. Ideally, it already has a UV layout, but Painter can also generate these UVs for you. And even if you decide to change those later, your texturing work will be transferred. Painter lets you use information from your mesh before you start texturing. It's not required, but it quickly gives you a good base to start from. No need to paint and place those kinds of details by hand. Like Adobe Photoshop, Substance 3D Painter uses a layer stack system. That way, your ideas can quickly become actual materials and details. You build up layers, determine placement on your mesh with masks, and blend them with layers below. Layers and effects have parameters that can be tweaked, letting you iterate and adjust your materials easily. Masks let you work quickly and efficiently. With simple black and white information, you're able to make simple materials appear in intricate patterns with complex forms. You can generate them automatically based on your bakes and use parameters to set where details appear. And if you want more control, Painter lets you override or combine automatic effects with manual work at any point. That way, you can easily try new ideas, effects, and details, and then transfer and reuse them in other projects. To get started, Painter has a panel filled with assets you can drag and drop, like materials, patterns, and masks presets. You can also easily add more materials from the thousands we offer online. For manual work, you'll find brushes, alphas, and particles. And if you want to add your own content to the Assets panel, like your favorite Photoshop brushes, for example, it only takes a few clicks. Substance 3D Painter even lets you blur the line between materials and modeling. Using height information in your materials, you can change the geometry of your mesh. The height information pushes parts of your mesh in or out, letting you add more detail than was possible during modeling or sculpting. Once your textures are finished, you can export them to any 3D application using Painter's export presets, and move on to staging and rendering. So yes, you can now have full control over your textures with Substance 3D Painter.
So this video was quite self-explanatory about its what exactly the painter can do. I'll open up the software directly and just to show you certain things that you might have to see while you are working on Painter, right? So here we go. When you actually open a Painter, it is a kind of this is the look that you actually go for. Now, if people in this webinar who are attending this webinar, if they have used Photoshop before, or even used it for even say even for editing photos or anything, you can actually relate certain things over here with Photoshop. Now, why I'm using Photoshop as an example, because Photoshop is one of those first application of Adobe that became so popular that based on that, the rest of the other software were actually being a part of Adobe family altogether. So what they made sure here is, like, if a person has even seen Photoshop for anywhere or the other, he would be able to relate other softwares with Photoshop, right? That's their thinking. That's their mentality while they are designing all these softwares. That's what make me excited about it. Like, I'm already familiar about many things over here. Yes, I'm getting brushes. Yes, I'm getting everything. Well, so those are the things that you can relate to. That's why I used an terminology and as an example of Photoshop. So, say if you are actually want to work directly into Painter, first there is nothing over here. Nothing where you would be able to just add or something like that. You have to open up things into Painter. By default, they have some samples that you can work for. Okay, so say suppose if you are using MET Matte, this is one of the favorite tool, one of the models that you can actually opt for. It is a character, okay, and with a 3D head, a round head, something like that, and looks pretty familiar, very friendly sort of a looking character. Now, the main thing that I would like to pinpoint in this particular character is the workflow. Now, what that does, excuse me, as you can see, each and every part of this particular character has been defined. So there is head, there is body, there is base. That's what you have to keep in mind while you are bringing up your models within 3D Painter. Okay, now we will be seeing what kind of a format it can bring in. I'll answer that thing later in my PPT also. So if you are having these different sections like head, the body, and base, it makes it more easier to work around. If you are having a complete one single model, maybe it is required in that particular project, then it's a different question. But it is always advisable to make it in parts so that you will be able to create textures and apply shaders and textures to all the different parts. That's the main thing that you need to understand here. Right now, say suppose if you want to directly work on it, yes, you are getting a by default material over here. This is one layer which is having one shader over here. This is the size of the brushes. If you right click over here, you can actually play with your sizes. You can actually play with your minimum size. And if you want different brush to be loaded, you can always load these brushes, or you can modify these brushes. You can have a jitter, you can have a flow, all the things that a basic brush can handle, right? Now, if you want it as a color, you want it as metal, all these different panels you are getting over here. Now, as you saw in video, it mentioned about heights. Now, what it does here is, like, say, suppose if you have some sort of a textured feature, all right, that need to be embossed. In a layman term, it should be embossed, all right? That's where normal and height comes. Those people who don't know about this, I'm just giving you a deep dive about it. Say, suppose if you want to have an emboss effect or something like that, then you need to work around the normal and heights. Okay, rest is pretty straightforward. Base color, if you want to change the color, yes, it will be changing a color, and you can actually, sorry, play along with the colors that you are available over here as you want, right? If you want to make it symmetrical, yes, you can apply symmetry here, and it works as a symmetry. Right? And say, I don't want to work with brushes. It is too much of a tedious work. Do you have something very ready-made? What you're getting over here is all the ready-made shaders that you can opt for. Now, these are the best possible shaders that you can look into. If you want further more shaders that you want to explore, you can always come into Substance Assets. Okay, and if you are having a subscription to stock, okay, then many of the 3D models are also available for you. Okay, certain 3D models like sort of things that you require into your project for your day-to-day path, maybe a sword, maybe a terrain, anything that you need to are thousands of options available, right, in stock, right? But now, say suppose by default, say suppose what are things are available over here is over here. Whatever things you are looking over here is for free. Certain things are free, certain things are paid. Paid why? Because I don't have a subscription right now for stock. If I have a subscription with a stock, then it would be a more, it would be a lengthier list that I can opt for. Okay, so say these are the shaders that I want to look into, like this one. I can directly download, and as you can see, it is getting downloaded, and it is a part and parcel of my existing asset. All I have to do is drag and drop. Right? I can also mix things up if I want to apply a simple plastic first. Okay, this is a simple plastic. On the top of that plastic, say suppose I want a different paint roll. Okay, so there are two different materials into this. And just like a Photoshop, that's why I'm actually keep on giving you an example of Photoshop. You're getting all the options of your mixer like a layer. I mean, like these are the layers just like a Photoshop. If I want to overlay, see, as you can see, I am getting both paint roll and plastic composite. Both of the shaders are presented to my model, right? And of course, you can play along with it. You want to it further. Say, suppose if I want to add up like a flesh, I don't know, maybe giving a good screen sort of a look, and you get like this. Okay, so it is like semi-plastic and paint and organic getting mixed and giving you a different shader altogether. You can always play along with all the options that you are getting over here. Okay, so as you can see, this particular software has a very straightforward workflow. No hanky, no major distraction, drag and drop things are there. But say, suppose if you want to deep dive into many things, say, I want to have a more smaller looking spots. I don't want a bigger spots. You can always style it, and it would be looking smaller. If I want a bigger one was better, your wish. It's all up to you. You can always modify these things as you want. You can rotate it, you can offset it as you identify. Now, these kind of an options you will might be familiar if you are working in 3D softwares. If you are working in 3D softwares, but if in case if you are not have worked in any of the 3D softwares in past, you are very fresher, you are very new, but you know how to create a 3D model, or you have a 3D model and you want to apply a texture to that, it's fine because there is nothing like a major complications while working on 3D Painter. All right, it's very straightforward. As you can see, I can stylize like this. This is a bit of a Rocky. In fact, to be very frank, if I made the entire thing as Rocky, it reminds me of that Marvel character that was there in Thor. You can you can think of was that being used? I mean, something like a substance painter being used in those movies? Yeah, it was because the acquisition of the Substance Painter was somewhere around in 2000, if my memory serves right, is somewhere around 2019, somewhere around that. Okay, so and those movies were made before that. So this software was being used, is being used by industry professionals in movies, right? But it has a lot of potential in many other things too. Like, say, suppose if you have I'm just giving you a new model altogether. I have like a toaster, right? Now, this toaster is nothing but a simple model that was being made in SolidWorks for that matter, or say suppose somewhere in you can say yeah, over here, or some scan model all together. Just a sec. I think I made one thing. I'll reload it again because I wanted this as auto unwrapped. Okay. is correct. Yes, this is what I want, right? Why I'm using this? Because I actually used all the shaders in a different way. That one had only two shaders, and this one has many other shading points that I can play along with it. Okay, so if I have metal, okay, and I'll be applying a metal like this into the right? Of course, it's very grassy and it's very the look is looking like an aluminum. I want to make it a little lighter or something like a darker, but first I will be increasing the tiling part so that it looks more legitimate, right? I want copper, oh, sorry, copper over here, okay, like this, right? And say, suppose I want a carbon sort of look for my buttons, especially for my button. Carbon, drag and drop, and increase the tiling. Including here, let's increase the tiling here too. Right? So it's very basic drag and drop sort of in software. And you, if you don't have any 3D background or anything, and if you're directly working on the software, that would be just fine. All you have to do is like include whatever work that you want over here, and it would be a part of it, right? The 3D model is most important thing because at the end of the day, it is all about painting your 3D model. Okay. Say, suppose I want something more. I want a label on it. Okay, I want some label on my metal part. So why don't we do that? Yeah, just a sec. This one would be, yeah, this one. No, it's not here. Yeah, sorry. So say suppose if I want to have a label here, okay, that there are many ways of doing it in Photoshop, Photoshop of making a label, and you have to bring it over here. I had already made one label over here, and I'll bring it in this particular asset, add resources, and that would be on my paint, bring slider, copy, okay, import, yes, don't define it. And it's here, yeah. Where's my textures? It would be within my texture. These are for shaders. This is all include everything. These are just for the shaders. These are for mask. And this is for my brushes. So say suppose if I bring in here, where's it? That's for the environment. This is for brushes. I'll keep it over here. Price, P-R-I-C. Sorry. Was it included or not? Just a sec. Yeah, it was. P-R-I-C. Shall I include it again? Just a sec. Price label. PNG, yes. Where is that? No problem. Actually, I can even drag and drop. It's not an issue. If it is not getting included like this, I'll do it with this. Okay. Yes. It's not coming. Sorry about this. Was supposed to come. Actually, it was a label that I actually made for myself, and all I had to do is like just bring it into the drag over here. Basis, yeah. Should be here actually. BRICE. Yeah, I'm sorry. So for some reason it was getting lost. So my bad. So this is the price label that I was talking about. And if I just drag and drop over here, what it ask me? Whether you want a basic color, you want a mask, you want a height, you want a metal, or I can actually add it as a mask also over here. And this is a part that I can include here. Okay. Say I don't want it like this. I want it a bit glossier or make it more prominent so that I can play along with it. Yeah, you can do that. All you have to do is like I will be including a simple layer, a simple fill layer for that matter, fill layer. Okay. And it would be in this one. It has its own shader. It has everything. Now, what I'll do here is I can directly place my label into base color. Now, since it is a UV, if I play along with this one, it is getting repeated. As you can see, right? It is getting repeated. I have to just simply change it to none, no repeats. Okay. And I can place it wherever and rotate. Right? So say suppose if you want a packaging sort of a texture or something like that, those things can be done very easily as you can see here. Okay. The entire thing has been stickered like this. And I can play along with it. I can make it multiply or say so just simply give this one a screen. And you can just place it like this as if it's been stickered in one over here. Right? Okay. So this is as good as your image. I mean, like you have to work along with your image. Painter would be just placing those images over here. Okay. So those things are very much easily been done. I have already created this one just for the references. Yeah, this one. I'll discard it. I don't want this changes that I made. This is a small thing that I actually made here, right, with my all the materials and paste it over here. Right. This is how it looks. Right. Okay, right. So this is a sort of a final look that you can actually come up with in Painter by applying materials and playing along with it. Okay. Once you are happy with it, okay, I'm happy. I want this thing to be done. I mean, it is absolutely done. Either you can export this entire model into your 3D application from here. Okay. Export the textures. If you have already this 3D model placed into your 3D application, any of the application I'm talking about, it's already been there, then you have to just simply click on export textures, and the textures will be actually given, will be exported in different channels. What all channels you get? The basic channels are always there. Base color, okay, height, and at the same time, you will be also getting the normals so that it looks more realistic. Okay, right? All these channels would be actually getting transferred. But say I'm a layman, I have no access to any of the fancy 3D software. Okay, I don't have any access to I'll just name a few like Rhino or 3ds Max or Maya. I have no clue or no access to these softwares. Can I just simply give a final product within Adobe? Yes, you can. In fact, all you have to do is, if I want this particular model simply to be sent to 3D Stager. What it will do here is like this is a 3D Stager. In layman term or in my M&E terms, if I say this is the renderer of Adobe. Now, this is where we actually render all our Adobe stuff, right? So within Stager, you actually get like this. As you can see here, it is a simple stager. Not only this, but if you are an AI enthusiast like me, if you want to simply create a background based on your text, you can simply create a background based on the text. Yes, I want a yellow studio paint, right? What it does is it uses a Firefly, Adobe Firefly, okay, as a support engine to generate an image for you. Okay, so of course, I'm actually getting a female also, studio female. These are the suggested part. But say suppose if you want like this or something like this, yeah, I think this would look good. Yeah, something like this, or a simple. If you don't want this, fine, no problem. Simply make a yellow color wall. Okay, we'll create a yellow color wall because I added paint. So uh, AI is smart as well as stupid. You have to be very specific of what exactly you want. Okay, so this is what I actually intend to. This is what I get. Okay, right. If I want to use a ray trace, I can always use ray trace here so that it gives me a very fine rendered look, right? Of course, in order to support the ray trace, you should have a very good graphic card also. See, at the end of the day, this is purely GPU based render. Okay, so that's why you have to be very specific, very conscious while you are actually choosing your desktops or laptop for that matter. It should have a very good graphic card. Okay, so say suppose if I am placing a cube here, what I'll do here is like I'll simply increase or decrease the width. Yes, why I'm using this cube? So that I can place my model over here as a stage. Okay, simply placing it over here. The best part about the stager, it is just almost like your 3D Painter. So I do get some leverages on the material wise. So suppose if I want to apply a material here, I can always apply a material. I want a dark one, say suppose, so that it looks like this. But it's kind of getting blended with my toaster. I don't want that. I'll make a white one. Right? And I can always change the color variation or something like that. I can increase and decrease the color variation. I can increase the specular or decrease the specular. Ambient occlusions are always there. But at the same time, I want to just increase the anisotropic level and make it more shiny. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Alkalic coat it. Yes, a little bit of a coat. And roughness a little bit less, spotty dirtiness, I would want that. That's it. I think I'm pretty much done over here. Okay, no problem. So something like a bit of a floor here, and well, that's it. If I want to make it rendered, I can keep it rendered over here also. Okay, and if you don't want to render, you want to just place it and keep it like as it is, you can always do that. I do have a small example made by one of our content creators. You can have a look so that you can get a basic idea of what exactly I'm talking about. And you can send this thing into Photoshop also. And you get all the layers and everything and draw your final output within Photoshop. This was a small example, actually, made by one of our content creators. Now, the key factor of a Substance Painter is like it has a real-time view, as you actually seen it before. The materials that you are using in Substance Painter are PBR materials. That is physically based rendering material, PBR, right? If you just go online on Google and type PBR material, you get tons and tons of PBR material. And if you are in Substance Painter, you also get a lot of libraries. These are nothing but PBR materials. And these materials are already readily and freely available in your case. If you want certain more things, you can create on your own and publish it. You might, there are people who are actually earning out of it. Okay, so if you are a very good texturing artist, and if you create your own texture and sell it for what on stock, for that matter, you might earn revenue. Of course, there are terms and conditions applied, but this is one of the revenue model that you can actually come up. Okay, so that is what the PBR material does. And at the same time, you also have dynamic brushes. There are lots and lots of brushes. I have touched that particular brush right now. I've just vaguely just shown you one of the brushes, but there are many brushes. There are something for the for burn. There are dynamic brushes that you can actually you can use. You can texture your own brushes and create your own brush. So it's a very vast topic when it comes to just if I deep dive into brushes, but due to time constraint, I'm not able to show you right now. But as I mentioned, we will be also doing a specific sessions or certain things as kind of a workshop. Okay, within our webinar series, so that I can deep dive and show you more what all things are available in Substance Painter when it comes to brushes. Okay, you can bake your texture. As I told you, you can actually export it to any other software that you are aware of. It is GPU accelerated. Being, as I just mentioned, that whether it is Stager, whether it is Painter, you should have a very good graphic card. So there is no escaping that or shying away from the fact that graphic card are not the future. The GPU are not the future. No, they are the future. It's gonna be staying over here. In fact, there are possibilities that in future you might be running the entire computing just based on your graphic card. So NVIDIA, AMD, these are certain graphic hardware industries who are actually working very rigorously towards that you might not need a processor chip, but just graphic card to run your computer. Okay, that's gonna be in future, but that maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, but it is the future now. Okay, so you cannot shy away from the fact that you don't need graphic card. No, you really need a very good graphic card to run the softwares now and for future softwares also. Okay, future versions of softwares. Okay, now it has very seamlessly working with other 3D applications like Max, Blender, 3D Maya, gaming engines like Unity and Unreal. Okay, they are one of our major users, as I'll be showing you, and it is having an automatic UV unwrap. So say in case if you are having a scan model for that matter, okay, UVs actually plays a very vital role to apply these textures. Many times, what happens here is like not many of us have a skill to cut the entire 3D model into UVs so that it would be properly segregated and everything. Okay, many people are there, of course. So what it does, it automatically unwraps for you. All you have to do is like apply the textures. Okay, version collaborations are very well integrated. We in Adobe they actually give us a lot of materials for constant changes that are happening, and all you have to do is just look around. That's it. That's all you have to do. Nothing else. These are the major industry that we cater to when it comes to Substance Painter, game development, film and VFX. Very vigorously, they use Substance Painter. In fact, kind of born over there. Okay. Product designers are using this. Now, product design in itself is a very vast topic. Now, I'm not talking about product design of just a simple toaster. No, I'm also saying those people who are also dealing in fabrics. Okay, they want intimate designs on their clothes. That can be possible in a product design. That's also a product. Of course, it is a product. Okay, you're buying a cloth is a, it's a product that you're buying. Okay, so those product designing and for manufacturing, it is very useful. People in manufacturing, if you are even remotely having a requirement of making your creation a bit better looking, you need a pre-visualized view of how the product would be able to look, right? So those things has to be done in softwares like Substance Painter or 3D Max or Maya or anywhere that for that matter. Okay, so pre-visualization. If as a manufacturer or as a part of product designer, if visualization is a very integral part of your production pipeline, softwares like this will definitely help you. All right. And when it comes to architectural visualization, anytime I want a very good flooring, I want a customized made flooring, I want two different floorings to be mixed and made a different floor altogether. Those kind of a textures requirement can be very well fulfilled in Substance Painter, right? Now, these are the services that are attached to it. Substance 3D Assets, as I just shown you briefly, it is here. This is the entire thing available with it. Now, since I'm online, that's why I'm able to see everything online, right? So everything is available through a website within the software. So that's how it is. These are the basic brushes, and if I want to add more brushes, I can always download and bring it over here. Okay, right. So this is one of the services that I was talking about. And further, if I see, it is having a very strong forum for within the community. I mean, like, see, it's kind of a community altogether. You learn something and you can share. I learned something I can share, and by that the exchange of knowledge, both of us would be increasing our knowledge on our or by just simply connecting, right? So we have a very good community within Adobe, not just in Adobe, but also on YouTube. You go on YouTube, you will be getting a lot of forums or channels that are actually showing you how Substance Painters are working. Do take advantage of those things, all right? And it has a cloud integration with Adobe and AI integration also, as I just shown you in Stager. All you have to do is like write your prompt and you can create your own background as per your wish. Okay. These are the supporting formats within Painter. FBX. FBX is something which is very widely used in Autodesk domain. Autodesk been you can say like within the Autodesk ecosystem, FBX plays a very vital role. Either I have to bring any model from one software to another software. FBX is one of the best thing that I can offer. OBJ is a universal format. Any software that you actually go into the market who are in dealing in 3D, they are able to export things in OBJ. Okay, so like that, that is very widely used format. GLB format is becoming very much popular these days with the website designers, so that they can bring in their model and show within the website the entire 3D view within the website. So GLB is one of the formats that you can offer. SLT, scan models, and not just scan models, but people who are remotely even associated with SolidWorks or manufacturing softwares, and they are making their models within these different softwares. All you have to do is like export your models from your particular parent software to STL. Bring that STL format in 3D Painter, paint it, and as I shown you, no need of going back. You can do it, do the rendering and everything within the stager. If you are looking for single image, if you are looking for a complete 360 view, right now Adobe doesn't have that capability. But because I don't want to show you the goody goody the wow sort of a thing. There are certain limitations right now, but that limitation is known to Adobe, and they are pushing it further. So you might be able to create videos also in future in Stadia. I'm not promising anything, but that is something that Adobe is working very rigorously right now. Okay, so Alembic format. Again, VFX people are very well using Alembic over here. USD is universal scene description, is something which we can import and export in 3D Painter. Okay, USDs are very widely used in VFX industry, but slowly and steadily, softwares like 3ds Max, they are adopting it to this format, and that's how you can actually get the entire scene in a very compact. I would say compact, but it's more like a lighter way. Like it won't be having that much of a weight, right? So USD would be having all the information about your texture, your lighting, and everything within that particular format. The rest of the format that I discussed earlier, they don't carry those inputs. USD carry. So that's one of the best part that is already there in 3D Painter. Polygon formats, 3ds Studio format, that is the core format of 3ds Max, and DAE. So these are the formats which is widely used in the industry, and they are very well accepted within 3D Painter. And from 3D Painter, you get these formats exported, right? PNG is one thing, JPG, TIFF, EXR. EXR is something which compositors use very widely, right? TGA, which is also known as Targa. We used to work around the Targa formats for decades now, almost 2 decades. That's why I can say about decade for our editing and compositing needs. PSD, of course, the Photoshop and web formats. So that's it from my end. If I am open for questions, if you have any questions, please do let us know. And if you have any suggestion also, please do give us your valuable suggestion so that for future sessions, I would be able to prepare more in-depth sessions for you guys. Again, I'm saying this is not the end. I am going to be taking more webinars on this particular topic based on the industrial needs. So maybe in future, we will be also looking into fashion. That's one of the possibilities. So that the fabrication part would be much more better. Gaming is one thing, but I would be actually more interested if I would be also taking part, taking sessions based on the manufacturing needs also, because I want to know what exactly manufacturing and architectural people are needing these days. Their needs are growing day by day. People want to see. I mean, in Hindi we have one muhavra, "Jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai." So if you make things very, beauty, like a beautiful image or a beautiful product or something like that, that would sell on its own. So that's one of the thing that I believe into, right? So from with that saying, I'll just see if I'm getting any questions here. Please do.
So, Jignesh, most of the question has been answered by our Adobe head, Mr. Puneet.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, if someone is having any query, any question, you can raise your hand or put your questions in the chat box.
I would like to even further add, could you share how to use the Autodesk, Substance Painter in Autodesk Revit? See, at the end of the day, yesterday itself we were having a very detailed session or kind of a discussion with one of our clients. They are using Revit at a very wide scale, and what they did is like most of the time, whatever work that they are doing in Revit, they also send it into 3ds Max. So If you are bringing things into 3ds Max, then all these textures are just to you to apply, right? So you can see final render and final animation is done in 3ds Max, but the texturing part is where they are actually using Photoshop. So why told, if you're using Photoshop, why don't you also look into 3D Painter? That's where the 3D Painter can help. Right. Any further questions or any further suggestions that you want us to take a session based on 3D Substance Painter? I would be also taking a detailed session on Stager later on because I just vaguely touched Stager. I want to make it show you what are the capabilities of Stager, okay, based on its AI. So I would be also taking a session on that. Texture shells. If you're talking about the shell part, the seashells, are you asking about that? Yeah. Ali. Yes. Okay. So if you're talking about those seashells, first and foremost, you need that model with you. Okay. Once you have that model, simply bring into 3D Painter. First, you can just paint it out, and then later on apply other patterns to it. You want a burn look, you can create a burn look also. Okay, so those things can be possible within 3D Painter. I'll just vaguely show you one thing. If I open up a simple, this bring back my Mint, right? So in brush, say suppose if you are having these brushes, you can place any of these things as one of your brushes, and at the same time, say if you have like this, these are very different dynamic brushes. So if I simply give you a burn one, yes, this one. This is one of the dynamic brushes. What it does is it creates burn into your thing. So I have not changed the uh, this thing color, base color. Just a sec. Yes. To view, where is it? Base color, base color, base color, base color, base color, base color. Where is it? It's down. Yeah, it's the one. So suppose if I have a red sort of a look, can you see this? These are dynamic brushes. So you can apply these dynamic brushes as you want. You want an artistic sort of a brush like these. Okay. There are many other things that you can opt for. I mean, I do keep on doing my R&Ds with it. So, but let's say suppose if you are having like this, so you can see, right? And as I mentioned, the fabric part, these are the zippers. What you're looking is the zipper. I've not, I mean, switched the symmetry on, but suppose if you have a simple symmetry, right? Something like this. Okay. So there are many brushes here that can opt for your look as you want because when zipper liya tha, I can always change those things into all the brushes that I have. So you can see, right? So you have to just play along with it. You have to just see how well you can actually offer. And if I want a leafy look, I can also have a leafy look. See? So seashell is one thing, okay? Many things are possible in this one. And as you can see, I'm kind of getting close to it. I have to just give a pink look and it can give you that kind of. Okay. So all you have to do is like design your own textures. If you want, I think seashells ka texture or sort of texture can be utilized over here. Let me see if I have shell. Fabric hai. Shell. No. Maybe here. मिलेगा क्या? Let's see. See. This is one sand look that I can actually get. अगर मैंने इसे डाउनलोड किया तो शायद हो जाए. Yes, it will. Give it a sec. Yes. The sand look that I can get. Rocky and sand sort of. So either you can create on the base of this, mix certain things, and you can actually have sort of a sea look or whatever. Maybe it's not so close. I need to work on it for a while. I just showed you simple things what the painter can do within 5 minutes. So you have to apply your creativity and work along with it. To emboss a logo. Yes, we can. Of course, more interested in creating the textures, how to emboss a logo. You can actually create a logo. You can create an. All you have to do is like make sure that you are having a vector image of it, like an AB or something like that. Okay, place it over here and simply increase the height. That's it. You can create the emboss look. I don't have that kind of a texture. But yes, you have to just bring in your logo and place it into your model. Right. So as today's session or today's webinar was just an introductory part, just wanted to show you what exactly Substance Painter is. Okay. With embroidery textures. Yes, yes, yes. You can create your own embroidery textures. Embroidery, if you can. How much time do I have? Yes, I think. Let me just show you. I have a ready-made fabric. I'll just apply it and show you. Just a sec. Fabric. This is one, but I think there was cloth. Just a second. Cloth. This is a nylon that I can actually get into. Okay, ये मुझे एक nylon मिल गया. And if I want to embed certain things into it, like brush में अगर मैं गया, and if I create, let me see if I fabric में मुझे क्या मिलता है, like yeah, leafy swill, ठीक है, within body. Okay, I have to create a layer. मैं एक fill layer बना देता हूँ इसके ऊपर. ब्रश में क्यों नहीं आ रहा हूँ? एक मिनट. Right. नहीं ये वाला नहीं, ये वाला चाहिए. See? ठीक है. If you are happy with this, say suppose मुझे ये embroidery जैसा look अगर ये पसंद आ गया, मैंने ये just ये embroidery जैसा मैंने बना दिया, and I'll just remove this. I don't want this. इसे निकाल देता हूँ. It's a part of it. So एक nylon shader पे मैंने एक छोटी सी embroidery बना. Right? Yes, we can, but of course, we need um an engine with it for VR. I would lie to you like something like you can say Unity or Unreal. We can make a VR out of it. But of course, you have to bring it into these kind of softwares like Unreal. That means आपने अगर से suppose एक stage बना के रखा हुआ है, वो stage को फिर बाद में VR में आप publish करोगे. So that's how it works. हाँ, in VR you actually need those kind of a realistic look. वो जो look होता है texture का, that is something that Painter does. Okay, no problem. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. And again, I'm saying this session is just a start. Okay, we will be coming up with more topics based on all the I mean the entire 3D suite altogether. And we will be also creating lots and lots of interesting content within that. Next in the next session, I might extend it to 1.5 hours. Okay, so that हम लोग थोड़ा और workshop based sessions कुछ इस तरीके से करें. And if you have any suggestion based on today's session and for future sessions, please do let us know. Okay, creating embroidery. Right. So thank you so much for attending today's session. Please do leave your valuable feedbacks on the way out. And if you have any queries or anything, do get back to us. This is my contact details. I'll mention it again at the end. Please do follow us on LinkedIn. And here's my credentials. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much to attend today's session and see you later in coming sessions. Thank you. Thank you.